Hello, beautiful people. Uh, Today, I wanted to talk to you guys about the concept of access versus ownership. Now, uh, yeah, the thing is, what I noticed in life is that the way most people perceive assets is that they need to like own them in order to be able to enjoy them. And by that, what I mean is like you have to go get a job, make some money, and then with your money you will buy your house or your apartment or whatever, and then only shall you enjoy your apartment or your house or whatever, right? And but what I noticed is that, at least personally for me, like I feel like that's a very limiting way of experiencing life, because in some sense what you own also owns you, and it kind of like ties you down. And so in that sense, what I figured out is, um, what I am personally really interested in is basically the quality of my every here and now moment, right? So in a sense, for example, while I'm enjoying this beach, I don't really need to own any part of it. And in fact, taking it to the next level, I think the idea of ownership itself is quite an absurd concept, that somehow humans have agreed between each others that we own pieces of earth. And if you think about it, like the earth itself, at least from my point of view, is conscious and alive. It's an organism, right? It's a very complex and intelligent organism, and also it is our mother. And we are like little microbes inside this much larger entity. And somehow we have just decided between each others that, okay, like this piece of land belongs to me, and thus uh, all the trees on that land also belong to me, and I can happily chop up whichever tree I choose not to have in my property and then plant something else. And that's how we operate, which to me is actually quite absurd. But anyways, coming back to the concept of access and how I have organized my life at this moment in time is, uh, first of all, I sort of thought about the whole idea of the quality of my life. And in that sense, what I realized is that the quality of my life is dependent on the here and now experiences that I'm having, right? And so for me personally, what kind of enriched my life is having access to things that I really want. And let me kind of like put it in a perspective for you guys. Now suppose there is someone who has like someone working for like Infosys or something like that, and then you decide to buy yourself an apartment in Bangalore. And now let's say that apartment basically costs you somewhere around like 2 crores. You get like a two-bedroom apartment. And yeah, and then you kind of tied into that place as well. You need to like take care of that. And once in a while, maybe once or twice in a year, you go for like small vacations, and then you enjoy other places. But what I sort of have kind of like done for myself at this moment in time is, from my point of view, I have multiple homes in different places. Like for me, my home in Goa would be New Earth Hostel. And my and I have like many homes in the mountains, like in Kodaikanal. Like I primarily live in this place called Club India Resorts, but then I also have some land actually I own that in another village. And then I have friends who live in other villages, which are also very inviting for me. And thus, in some sense, I have like many homes. And now coming to like vehicles, like I have many cars and bikes also in that ways. Wherever I go, like there are some things which are sort of available to me, right? And in that ways, what has happened is like, the quality of my life has gone up quite a bit as compared to when I look at some of the other people, right? And so that is something that I wanted to share with you guys and talk to you guys about. Now, something else also that I sort of noticed in my journey in the last few years of experimenting between these concepts of access and ownership is because I've primarily been living in the mountains close to Kodaikanal. So, what I noticed is that a lot of people actually aspire to have a certain kind of a life, and maybe they have these ideas that okay, they're going to work these many years and then accumulate this much money and then buy a piece of land and then do some stuff. But what I noticed in the last couple of years is that probably well over 90% of the people are actually not able to realize this dream where by the time they have actually accumulated the money, or in many cases they have not even been able to accumulate the money, uh, they either don't have the time, energy, money, or whatever to kind of do what they really want to do. Now, there are some people who obviously have managed to clear that hurdle and move to the next stage, and they have, let's say, moved to the mountains, bought some land, a couple of acres, and then you start doing things. And what I realized over there is that most people are actually in the same predicament, which is even the people who have actually come there, which is that after having come, you realize that every task is actually a different kind of a task and needs a different kind of a skill set. And the predicament that most people find themselves in is like to each his own. Now, what I mean by that is that okay, let's say you were doing some programming and then you made some money, and then let's say you made it pretty early in life, and by the age of 35 you're able to move to the mountains, and then you're able to like buy say 3-4 acres of land. But now that you have done that because you had the financial ability to do so, what people realize after coming there is that like every skill, in a sense that okay, now you need to deal with say bureaucrats in order to like do some work, then you need to get the water, you need to get the electricity, and then you need to do the construction, then you have to deal with like labor, and then for the construction you need to have some design and architecture that you have to deal with somebody for that. And after the whole thing is done, then like decorate that, and then like for example, decorating a place is a very different kind of a skill set. And some people are very good at making spaces aesthetically very beautiful, and some people don't have that skill. For example, like I have the ability to enjoy a beautifully done up space, but probably I don't have the capacity to convert a space into something very beautiful by myself. And so in that sense, what I mean is that all these people who do finally end up in the mountains or any other place, like they realize that life is actually hard, there are many things to be done. And since everyone is on the same track thinking that okay, this is what I'm going to do, there is nobody on the other side. And I'll explain what I mean by the other side, which is that if you just showed up and if you had even no money, no problem, like from a genuine space, and you're like, hello, my name is Help, and I'm here to make your life easier, literally all doors will open for you. Like I do not care how much money you have or you don't have, like people with properties worth crores will also be happy to have you on their properties, because like in some sense you are making their life easier, right? And in that sense, but you have to come from a genuine space and have the ability to share your own unique gifts with that space. And of course you will have to like check out multiple spaces, connect with many different people, and finally come to realize that okay, which one do I want to collaborate with, which one is most like appealing to me. And also you can have multiple options in that ways, because you're not tied into just one place, it's like, and each one where you give your value, your energy, you kind of improve your skills and your ability to enrich a place, and thus your life is also greatly enriched. So this is what I wanted to share with you guys. And if you have any questions that you would like me to answer, you can ask. I mean, I would love to kind of elaborate a bit more in case you guys are interested. Sweet. Mwah. See you guys in the next one. Bye bye.